In today's video, guys, we are doing a Q&A. I haven't done one of these in so long. As you know, we're taking a small break from career mode. It's back on Monday. Can confirm the first season in the Champions League with MGH United will start on Monday. But today and tomorrow, we're going to do something different. Today is all about your questions. Is there anything you want to know about me? Is there something that's been burning in your mind that you've wanted to ask me for a while? Well, hopefully some of those questions will be asked today. So, or answered today, I should say. The first question is coming in from Eric Stand. He's actually got Eric as his pitcher, Ten Hag. Not a great start from Manchester United, was it? His question is, when you're not playing FIFA, what other games do you play? Now, this is a really interesting question because a lot of people presume it's all I play. FIFA. Actually, I would say, despite making videos on FIFA for the last 10, 11 years on YouTube, it's not even the most played game I've got. Genuinely. I think in the last 5 years, let's say, PUBG, or PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, whatever you call it, that's probably one of my highest played games. For a few years, that was like the game to play. Apex, GTA, I played quite a lot of World of Warcraft with the last expansion, Diablo, Overwatch, loads of racing games like F1, Horizon, the new Gran Turismo that came out. Honestly, I've probably played all of those games just as much, if not more, than FIFA. And the reason for that is because when you're playing FIFA to make content like I am, it's not the same. It isn't. It just isn't the same, and it never has been the same as just jumping on after work one day. You know, you come home from your shift, you just play FIFA. For me, it's a bit more than that. I'm actually having to be MGH, and having to play maybe a bit differently or talk as I'm doing things and just things like that. It does actually make a big, significant difference. So whilst I still love FIFA, even though it's had issues and it's not had enough done to it over the years, it's not my most played game, funnily enough. Next question is going to be from Gerald Comps. Hopefully I'm saying everyone's names right. I will try my best. Do you think sending Saliba on loan for 3 seasons was the right choice? I knew I'd get some Arsenal questions, probably most of them. So it's quite a simple question to answer, you would think, but it's not. Is it hindsight that he was great last season in France with Marseille, and he would have had an equally good season with Arsenal? Would it have meant that we didn't sign Ben White, who I still think is a fantastic signing for Arsenal? I've just been watching the All or Nothing documentary, the 4th, 5th, and 6th episodes, and I tell you what, Ben White is rated very highly in the squad, and I really like him. I really do like him. I think because of how well Saliba has started this season, it has worked for Arsenal. It just has. It's worked out well. We've had Ben White come in and Gabriel. They formed a great partnership. And now we're just adding more spice. And that can only be a good thing. But of course, hindsight, if he was here last season, would we have got top 4? Maybe. We will never know. But I think, in general, my answer is yes. He has developed so well in his home country. And now he seems ready to go. And by the way, I'm still sick. I don't get this. I've been unwell for 2 weeks now. I'm just not getting better. Not quickly enough anyway. But good question. My answer is more yes than it is no. But we will never know what would have been last season. Next question is from Solomon Tan. Have you thought about trying out different styles of videos? This video right here, instead of career mode. For example, rebuilds, young versus old teams. So the reason I've picked this question to answer it is because, as you know, I've been taking a break from career mode in general because I just needed it. And I think the series needed it. My channel needed it. It's got a bit stale, the same episode format every day. And I needed to take a little bit of a break. And I'm really happy I did, because now that I know it's coming back on Monday, I'm raring to go and get recording over the weekend, providing I can do it and I'm not going to be dying of whatever I've got. I really do plan on changing it up for FIFA 23 because it's not sustainable every single year. The older I get, the more I realise I do need to diversify my content a little bit and do something different. I'm not going to ditch career mode. Everything I do is still going to revolve around career mode and football. It's just my channel. But I would like to do rebuilds, like you said. I would like to do challenge videos. I've done some videos like young versus old team and simming a season with over 30s and or retiring players and just things like that. I think as of right now, my plans for FIFA 23 aren't final. I don't know everything I'm going to do, but I don't think it's going to be typical career mode every single day. It might be a little bit different this year. I don't know. It's not long now, though, is it? We're going to be getting the new game very soon. Next question comes in from the Discord. So far, they've all been questions on Twitter. If you want to go ahead and follow me over there, twitter.com/MGH. I'm verified. You can't miss me. And I've got a Discord server as well. And these are from club members. So if you become a member on the channel, you get access to the club members chat in Discord. And you could have your questions coming in like this. So Rangers, thank you for being a member. Really appreciate you, mate. Your genuine thoughts on Scottish football. And where do you think the old firm clubs would finish in the Prem if they had the funding that the Premier League clubs had? It's very difficult to answer that because they don't have that funding. Scottish football is miles away from the Premier League in terms of funding, financials. We all know that. But the quality of the football itself, when you watch Celtic, Rangers, and a couple of the other teams, it's good quality football, but maybe not quite the heights of, the top half of the Premier League, maybe some of the other teams around the middle of the table, because funding is an issue. Big names coming to the Premier League now. You're seeing it more so than it was in the last decade, where all the best players were going to Spain. All the best players were going for those Barcelona, Real Madrid transfers. Now we're seeing Man City, Liverpool, and in some respects, Chelsea, United, Tottenham, Arsenal. The big players are all heading to the Premier League, and that doesn't help the league in Scotland. It doesn't help the other leagues, but I mean, it is where it is. That's where the money's at. My genuine thoughts on Scottish football, I don't really watch it. I do watch the odd Celtic Rangers game. I was following Rangers through Europe last season. I thought that was really good. They did a fantastic job. And if they had the money that some of the other teams had, then of course they could compete and do well in a Premier League. But the fact is, if you put Rangers and Celtic into the Premier League now, I don't think they've got any chance of winning it. Maybe they could get into that kind of top 8. Let me know your thoughts. I don't want to dig out those clubs or those fans too much because we don't know what it would look like. But I personally have a feeling that Celtic and Rangers would barely scrape top 6. Maybe they would just get into the top 6, 5th, 6th, maybe at most. But that's just my opinion. Next question comes in from Simon, also in the club the MGH United club Discord. If you could sign one player from the clubs in the relegation battle, okay, first of all, who are in the relegation battle right now? It's a bit early. I'll take your question as maybe the worst teams in the Premier League in general, or the teams that have just come up. If I could sign one player to Arsenal, who would it be? That is a really tricky question. We still need a midfielder, but I don't know if there's any midfielders I would take from some of those bottom teams. I mean, if Southampton count, I would take Ward-Prowse for sure. I really like Ward-Prowse. And their new signing, is it Lavia from Man City? Looks like an absolute baller. We also need a winger. And I do feel like maybe... No, I probably wouldn't... Oh, it's so difficult. I think Ward-Prowse is my answer. I think Southampton will be fighting in that kind of relegation battle, but who knows? It's so early. There are other teams that could slip in there. But my answer is Ward-Prowse, I would say. Up next, another question from the Discord. Spencer R. This is about YouTube and about what I do as a job, a hobby that pays, as I like to call it. How long does it take to record a single video? From the time you start recording until you are done editing, I'm thinking about starting a channel. Well, first of all, I'm gonna talk about the ending now. I'm thinking about starting a channel, which I get a lot. I get a lot of people saying, I'm going to start a YouTube channel, and that's amazing. But I always say the same thing. Don't do it for the wrong reasons. Don't do it because maybe you're chasing money. You see other YouTubers that are, making millions every month, which I have to say, guys, I am not making that kind of money. It's a great thing that I'm able to... I have a 3-bedroom house. I live with Ellen and 2 dogs. We don't have kids yet, and we're comfortable, okay? I'm not making an absolute killing on YouTube, put it that way. But if you're like a 10 million plus subscriber channel and you're making consistent content, you can make millions a year. Some YouTubers are clearing over 100 million a year. It's a child has a toy reviewing channel over the last few years. It's been making hundreds of millions. It is absolutely crazy. So don't start a channel if you're chasing that, because that kind of YouTube comes in time. If you start and enjoy it, that's the biggest bit of advice I could give it. If you're having fun yourself in the videos, people will have fun watching you. The success will come if you're good enough to get the success, if that makes sense. Don't chase it straight away. But to get back to the original question, I always like to say that to people, because a lot of people see the money and think, right, I need to get into this YouTube game. It doesn't work like that. It's such a small percentage of people. But to record a single video, it really, really depends. A video like this doesn't take me too long at all. And of course, it relies on things like how quick your computer is at rendering and editing, how quickly your internet can get the video online. I've spent the last 6 years at this house with terrible internet. It would take me 2 hours to upload a single career mode video. Now, it takes me 5 minutes because I got fiber recently. Lots of different things. But I would say a typical career mode video, I'll be recording for an hour and a half, maybe, a good 90 minutes of footage. Maybe a bit less. It depends on how many games I'm doing. If I do 3 games and a signing in there and maybe some contract negotiations or whatever, I think it's a good hour to an hour and a half of actually playing and talking. And I'm talking non-stop, pretty much. I just cut out a lot of it, obviously. And then taking that footage into editing. Again, I don't do crazy edits. It's quite simple. I like my videos to be quite simple. Simple transitions, cutting to the action straight away, and, you know, maybe zooming in on a few tackles and a bit of music if I win a trophy or whatever. I would say the edit takes me about, on average, 20 to 30 minutes. But I'm pretty quick at it because I've been doing it for so long, and it's quite basic editing. If I'm cutting down 4 hours of footage, it takes me a lot longer. If I'm doing like, you know, those episodes where I do just highlights and talk over it, they take me so long. I have to record like 3-4 hours of gameplay, find all the goals, cut them into small segments, and then talk over the top. And I'm lucky if I get it first try. You know, when I do the commentary, sometimes I do it again, or take a bit out and add a bit in. You know, that can take a bit longer. But a typical video, live recording, I would say hour to hour and a half, then another half an hour to edit, and then the render can take 10 to 15 minutes, but that depends on your computer. And then the upload, I would say a very rough figure, 4 hours. Something like that. But what people don't realize is sometimes if you're planning the video beforehand, getting things ready, because obviously I've got a busy life outside of YouTube as well. I have to get things done here, and I've been going through a house move and remortgage now and things like that. So I'm doing all of that in the morning. Then I get to recording. And then afterwards, it's all the... When you upload a video on YouTube, you have no idea how many things you have to like go through. It's not just simply title, description, click upload. They have a very strict policy now on YouTube. You have to tick so many boxes, fill in all the metadata, make sure you've got everything spelt correctly. Every now and again, I get a number wrong in the title, like the wrong episode number. I then have to make my thumbnail. I do all of that myself. And then it's going through comments, replying to emails, on the phone to my accountant, or in a Zoom meeting with maybe a brand deal I'm doing. There is a lot that goes on behind the scenes. And I know I've gone on a lot, but people don't realize that it isn't just as simple as click upload and I'm downstairs watching football or whatever. This YouTube thing with daily videos that are half an hour long, it's honestly a proper full-time job. There are days where I'm in my office 10, 11, sometimes even 12 hours just doing things because I have got other things I do as well. Hopefully that answers your question. Best of luck with your channel if you start it. Make sure you link me a video. I'll check it out. Next question. We have Mr. Chimp Games. I love it. Do you think that in your lifetime, Arsenal will ever have another Invincible season? Love the content. Honestly, no. And I don't think any other team is going to do it. You saw Liverpool come close somewhat recently, but failed. I have a very strong feeling that it probably will be done again at some point, but maybe not anytime soon. If I see that again in my lifetime, I'll be very surprised. To go 38 games, and that's if, obviously, the Premier League remains that it is now. Imagine in 20 years, there's 40 teams. You know, with money, anything can change like that. I think in its current format, with 38 games, 20 teams, and a season being around 9 months long, I don't think it's possible. The standards are so high now, it's impossible not to switch off at least just once in that long season, concede a stupid goal and just get some rotten luck when having attempts on target and things are missing. And nah, I just don't think it's going to happen again. It is the single greatest achievement that Arsenal have done. It's unbelievable, and it won't be done again. Not in my lifetime. If it happens again, though, I'll be incredibly, what's the word? Proud of that team. Just the respect I would have for that. So, One Transfer Hub. I love that name. That's a cool Twitter name. You can only eat 5 things for the rest of your life. What are you choosing? Oh, God. For those of you who don't know me that well, I'm a very fussy eater. I eat the same stuff all the time. I have maybe 10 dinners that I love and I'll eat. You know, every now and again I change it up, obviously, and alternate between them. My breakfast, very simple. Protein bar, toast, cereal, something like that. And also, a lot of people might not know this, but I'm type 1 diabetic as well, so I have to do insulin shots. I do watch what I eat, despite people thinking I'm fat. How dare you? How dare you? I'm in my prime. So I do have to limit what I eat carb-wise. I don't have too much sugary stuff. I don't really eat chocolate and sweets very often. Ice cream is definitely a weakness of mine, so I think ice cream goes in. I love bread. Bread is just good, man. Whether it's a pizza, obviously it's a food on its own, but you need bread. I love toast. Honey on toast, man. Oh, I haven't had that in God knows how long. What else do I really, really like? Cheese. Cheese is also a big weakness of mine. Potato stuff like waffles, chips. I love a banana. Don't clip that. I love bananas. They're really good. A good banana. You can't really go wrong with that. I'm just thinking if I had to balance this out for the rest of my life, I'd have to keep a drink, right? But no, you're talking about things that I would eat. If I had to keep a drink, it'd be Pepsi Max, the non-sugar. Pepsi Max is that's my go-to. Or orange and mango squash from Tesco. If you haven't gone to Tesco and bought orange and mango squash, you're not living life. It is absolutely insane. I swear they lace that stuff with some sort of drug. I can't think of anything else really. Pizza, it's got to be in there, isn't it? Okay, we've got 2 more questions. We've got another one coming in from FT Blabdullah. I don't know how to say that. I'm sorry. What's your plans on FIFA 23 content other than the Arsenal career mode? So, yeah, I think I'm going to start with the Arsenal career mode again. It's just tradition, isn't it? But it will be a bit shorter this year. I think the team is in such a good spot. I don't actually need to do too much. I just want to take over, make 1 or 2 changes, win the Champions League. That's it. Or win the Premier League at least. Then I don't know. I honestly don't know. I normally kind of have a second team that I'm already planning, but I'd love to do a French career mode. It hasn't been something I've done for a long time. Back to the Bundesliga would be awesome. A Spanish career mode. Maybe a women's team career mode. I don't know. But I also want to do other FIFA content. So who knows? Maybe you get some Ultimate Team out of me this year. And then the last question we've got today. Who has the best front 3 in the Premier League? Coming in from Alex. Don't be biased. You're a Tottenham fan. I can see you've got Conte in your picture there, which instantly makes me think Son, Kane, Kulusevski, Richarlison, whoever. Unbelievable. Tottenham have, for me, the 3rd best team in the Premier League now. I think they're going to come 3rd this season. I think 4th is going to be Arsenal or Chelsea. And I think Chelsea might just beat us to it. I don't know. But I think in terms of the front 3, if we're talking just purely the 3 players that would start if they're fully fit, you've got Haaland, Mahrez and Grealish, or Foden, I guess, for Man City, which is insane. You've got Salah, Nunez up front and Diaz on the left for Liverpool. That is obviously incredibly good. I think Arsenal have a shout, just not quite there yet because they're very young, but obviously Saka, Martinelli, and now Jesus up front. Chelsea with Sterling now, but they still don't really have a striker. And I don't know who their starting right winger is. They've been playing Mount, haven't they? And they've got Ziyech. I don't think Chelsea are up there. Manchester United with Sancho, Ronaldo, and Rashford. I mean, oh man. I mean, it's Liverpool, Man City, and Tottenham. Those are the 3. I think if you go based off last season's form, you probably have to go with Son on the left, Haaland as the striker, and maybe Salah on the right. I don't know. Haaland's only just come to the Premier League. He's got 2 goals already, but he might not get more than Kane. He probably will. I think Haaland's going to score 20 plus. But If I really had to pick and take 3 at Arsenal, it would have to be Foden, Haaland, Mahrez. But if I could take Mahrez out and put Salah in, that would be it for me. But thank you guys so much for watching. That is my first Q&A in God knows how long. Make sure you follow me on my socials. My Instagram is in there in the description below as well. I enjoy doing Q&As every now and again. Hopefully you've got some interesting answers. Maybe I'll do another one in a couple of months' time. But guys, we're only a couple of weeks away from the new FIFA coming out. I may be playing. I shouldn't say too much, but you know, FIFA 23 is on the way. And I'm also going to do some F1 content soon. I've just been given a new wheel from Fanatec. It is absolutely insane. So I want to do a video on that. But that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.